Breaking news, the Giants firing offensive coordinator Jason Garrett. Our NFL insider Jonathan Jones has confirmed the news. The move coming after another poor offensive effort last night, a 30-10 defeat to the Buccaneers. Garrett in the middle of his second season as offensive coordinator there with the Giants after about a decade as head coach of the Cowboys. Giants ranked last in the NFL with 42 offensive touchdowns since the start of Garrett's tenure. Joe Judge, after the loss last night, was asked specifically about Garrett and that offense.
Do you still have faith in Jason Garrett as your offensive coordinator?
I have faith in all the people on our team, players, coach, everything. But, look, we'll assess everything as a team, make any move we need to going forward.
Is he going to be your...
I'm not going to go into that right now.
But he's going to have to now, because the Giants are going to be needing a new offensive coordinator this season on offense. The numbers terrible in the red zone. They're last in red zone efficiency. 3-7 overall, last place in the NFC East. And they host the Eagles on Sunday. Again, the Giants firing offensive coordinator Jason Garrett. Let's bring in our NFL insider Jonathan Jones, who confirmed this news. JJ, why now? Why in the middle of the season here for the Giants?
Well, it's a winnable, not a winnable division, but you look at what Washington and what Philadelphia are doing in the division, along with a division that, of course, the Dallas Cowboys are very likely going to win. And the New York Giants are the team that is very clearly in fourth place. And you look and you say, well, okay, the offense hasn't played poorly. The personnel hasn't played poorly. Daniel Jones, yeah, he threw a couple interceptions, but you live with those. They have the healthy guys now, right? They have Kenny Galladay. They have Saquon Barkley, who's trying to work his way back. They have Devontae Booker, who's doing what he can. The personnel is being misused and has been misused for some time. This is a team, an offense, that is second to last in the NFL in pre-snap motion. In 2021, there's no reason for your offense to have pre-snap motion on just a quarter of the plays that you run. But that's what Jason Garrett's offense with the New York Giants has been this year. That's what it's been ever since he became offensive coordinator there. It has been vanilla. It has not been innovative. And this was a move, frankly, that was sort of expected sooner rather than later, certainly after last night's Joe Judge comments that we just heard a moment ago. I was texting around with sources earlier today looking around the league, preparing for Week 12, and someone in the NFC East texted me, won't be surprised if Jason Garrett gets canned and Freddie Kitchens takes over. And then, what do you know, a couple hours later, Jason Garrett is fired, and Freddie Kitchens, reportedly the former Cleveland Browns head coach, is going to take over as interim offensive coordinator. But, again, Daniel Jones, 38 pass attempts and 167 yards. That's not good enough. You have to be able to push the football down the field. Daniel Jones can throw the football down the field. They've done it with some success over this season. He just wasn't given that opportunity last night. And so any number of issues, a healthy group of personnel, Kadarius Toney is out there, but he's not being utilized in the way that you would want him to be, especially after the Giants spent that first-round pick on him to sort of be that X factor in the offense. We started to see it around Week 3 or Week 4 of the NFL season, and now it went away again. Hasn't made a lot of sense. So this isn't pinning everything on young Daniel Jones, who has plenty more to prove. It isn't pinning everything on Saquon Barkley, who's dealt with injuries this year. Jason Garrett was out of excuses, and that's why it's happening right now.
So with Freddie Kitchens likely taking over as the offensive play caller there, how do you expect the offense to look differently moving forward, beginning with that Eagles game Sunday?
Well, I think what you're going to have is a little bit more pre-snap motion. You're not going to completely overhaul the offense at this point, 11 weeks into the NFL season. The verbiage is going to be extremely similar, but you have to get the ball in Kadarius Toney's hands more effectively. Let him run after the catch. Let him do some different things. Maybe take a couple of pages out of the Kyle Shanahan playbook for Deebo Samuel, for example. You look around, use the tight ends a little bit more. They have a somewhat healthy offensive line. They just got Andrew Thomas back. We saw the trick play down there at the goal line on the pass back to the left tackle. We saw the throw from Kadarius Toney. It's not enough to have the trick plays in there, that doesn't make your offense any less vanilla. It needs to be on first and second down. It needs to be between the 20s that you are getting guys who are dynamic with the football in their hands, actually getting the football in their hands. And that was what Jason Garrett, for the better part of 2 seasons, was absolutely incapable of, outside of a couple of flashes in the pan, the New Orleans game being one of those games earlier this season. Now, it's not all on the offense, the ills of the New York Giants. They have a defense that cannot rush the passer, and that's not going to get fixed anytime soon. They had a defensive game plan last night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that was, hey, we're not going to try to blitz Tom Brady. We're just going to sit back and hope that he doesn't carve us up. Ask 20 years of NFL opponents how that usually works out for them. And so I was not at all surprised by the result last night. And the Giants are a bit of a mess right now, and that's probably an understatement. But the sort of obvious move that Joe Judge and this Giants team could make right now was getting rid of Jason Garrett.
How much of this is Joe Judge trying to save his job, and how safe is he right now? Second season after a 6-10 season, now 3-7, so that's 9-17 overall in the worst division in football. Is he safe?
It's a difficult question to answer right now, Chris. I would not say with any level of certainty that his job is safe. I couldn't really say how hot his seat is. I can tell you that everyone around the league that, again, I was speaking to today as you sort of reset from Week 11 going into Week 12, a number of personnel folks have been expecting and continue to expect that Dave Gettleman, the general manager, that this will be his last season. Now, in the final year of his contract with the New York Giants, that there will be a change at general manager. Then it's going to be up to owner John Mara and to co-owner Steve Tisch on, hey, are we going to do a full house cleaning here and bring in a new GM and the coach that he wants? Or are we going to stick with Joe Judge, who I believe signed a 5-year contract, now 2 years into it? Owners usually don't want to pay guys 3 years to not coach for them. I do think that there is still belief in Joe Judge there. And we'll see, of course, in this final month plus of the season, how the Giants, especially their offense, responds to this. Was it just a Jason Garrett problem? Can they finish strong? And I know Giants fans everywhere listening to this are saying, yeah, okay, finish strong. We've done that a couple of seasons. It's about the start. Well, you can't get the start back. But does John Mara and Steve Tisch, do they want to restart again in New York? I don't know. I would say as we sit here today, that Joe Judge is more likely than not to return in 2022. But again, so much left in this season to determine that.
And it is official. The Giants announcing that they have parted ways with offensive coordinator Jason Garrett.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.